The aim with this video is to simplify crypto investing and help you fully understand where the market is heading. Markets have been hard for us investors so far in 2025. The stock market recently had its worst week in 5 years. Trade wars have been all over mainstream media and social media. And crypto, very, very volatile, hard to deal with. The kind of environment markets hate the most, uncertainty. Here's the question I'm getting asked constantly. Have we hit the bottom in crypto, or is there more downside ahead? In today's video, we're getting into 1, Bitcoin's latest price action and key technical levels. 2, what the trade war with China really means for markets. 3, why bond yields are suddenly in the spotlight. 4, signs the Fed might finally pivot. And 5, the most important thing for crypto. Section 1, Bitcoin price action. Are we bouncing back? Let's start with the charts. Pulling up the daily Bitcoin chart, we've recently had a death cross. That's when the 50-day moving average crosses below the 200-day moving average. Now, typically, this signals bearish momentum. It's something traders watch closely. But here's where it gets interesting. If we zoom out and look at the last time this happened, we saw something a little bit unusual. A short-term sell-off followed by a local bottom, and eventually a reversal back to the upside. In other words, the death cross didn't mean the end. It meant the beginning of a recovery. And this isn't just technical fluff. Price recently bounced right off the 73,000 level, a previously strong resistance zone, now turning into support. For newer investors, support equals where buyers tend to step in. Resistance equals where sellers tend to push prices down. So when price breaks above resistance and then bounces back up from it, that's called a bullish retest. And this is a good sign. Now, I'm not a trader and I don't want to be looking at charts all day. I just use technical analysis to help me to identify where we are in the market, like downtrend, boring sideways action, or what we all want, uptrend. I use simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, RSI, and volume mainly. This is just part of the picture though. If you want to know what data I use to help me to take profits and how I put it all together, you can join my crypto community on School. The link can be found below. Section 2, trade war. Why this matters more than you think. Let's talk geopolitics for a minute. This is important to understand for you and your crypto portfolio. The US and China, they're not just having trade talks, it's more like a techno-economic chess match. Basically, high-level, high-stakes chess. Here's a quick breakdown. US imposes tariffs on several countries, but really it's just about the US and China. The US imposes 34% tariffs on Chinese goods. China retaliates with their own 34% tariffs. Trump threatens a 50% escalation. China responds with 84%. Then the US throws down 125% tariffs. China matches again, and it gets even worse. China's also banned exports of rare earth metals. These are critical to building electronics, batteries, and even military gear. This isn't just about trade. This is about economic leverage and global dominance. It's all about power. And the markets, they're basically freaked out. We saw a massive sell-off, not just in stocks, but across the board, including crypto. Why? Because when these two economic powerhouses clash, global growth slows. And when growth slows, investors move away from risk. But here's the twist. When things get bad enough, governments tend to intervene. And that might be exactly what sets up our next move higher, especially if the Fed steps in. Now, I honestly feel that this is all by design and is background noise. The US need the Fed to cut interest rates so they can refinance their huge debts. Simply put, that's the big picture. Now, this isn't me talking as an expert, and as always, this isn't financial advice. I'm just trying to help you with my 8 years experience as a crypto investor. Section 3, 10-year yield spike, the triple threat. Next up, bond yields. Now, I know this sounds very dull, very boring, but stick with me. It will be worth it because after this quick 10-minute video, you will have a better understanding of the market you're investing into. Everyone's been watching the 10-year treasury yield of late, and it's been spiking hard. So what? Here's why it matters. 1, higher yields equals higher borrowing costs, meaning your mortgage goes up. Business loans get more expensive. Credit card rates rise. Even governments feel the squeeze. 2, consumer spending slows. People spend less, business earn less, and stocks drop. 3, risk of recession increases, and investors get nervous and start selling off risk assets like crypto. Some analysts believe this yield spike was actually what caused the White House to ease off on tariffs. That's how powerful this metric actually is. Bottom line, if yields calm down or the Fed steps in to push them down, risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto could rally hard. Section 4, the Ethereum opportunity and Fed pivot. Let's pivot to Ethereum. Ethereum has been bleeding dominant in recent months. It's been underperforming Bitcoin and altcoins have suffered. Bitcoin dominance has been doing my head in, if I'm being completely honest. I want it well below 60% so I can finally start to take profits. So us retail investors can finally take profits. But historically, this kind of ETH underperformance only lasts so long. The last time ETH dominance hit this level, it was the end of QT, quantitative tightening. The Fed pivoted, altcoins exploded. This will happen, by the way, alt season will kick in. And guess what's happening now? CPI inflation has dropped to around 2%, and true inflation says it could drop even lower. And the Fed, they have said they're ready to intervene if markets get too shaky. All of this tells me that you're getting dangerously close to the moment when the Fed says, right, that's enough. That's enough tightening. Let's inject some liquidity. When that happens and when they do lower rates, borrowing gets cheaper. Confidence returns. Altcoins explode. So if you've been watching Ethereum tumble and you're thinking it's over, this might actually be the calm before the storm. The good crypto goes parabolic storm we've all been waiting for. Just to be transparent, I'm not really a big fan of Ethereum. I think it's had its day and any improvements made are just paper over the cracks. That being said, I do hold some ETH and I do feel it will surpass previous all-time highs. Section 5, the M2 money supply. Liquidity is coming. One final signal, and this one big for macro investors. Global M2 money supply. Basically, the total amount of money circulating. It's been trending upwards. But why does it matter? Because rising M2 means more liquidity. Liquidity is fuel for markets. Think about 2020 and 2021. Massive M2 equals insane crypto bull market. Right now, with economies under stress, both the US and China are likely going to have to stimulate again soon. And if that happens, crypto could be set for a massive revival, led by Ethereum and followed by the alts. Summary, is it time to get bullish? Let's bring it all together. We've had the crash. Technical indicators suggest a bottom. Trade tension could either spark chaos or force governments to act. As I said, this is background noise to me personally, but it is important to keep up to date. Bond yields are spiking, but the Fed may step in. Inflation is falling fast. Global liquidity has been increasing significantly and could and should be returning to Bitcoin and crypto. And Ethereum, despite not being my favorite crypto, will get past all-time highs, in my opinion. So have we actually bottomed? It's impossible to be 100% sure, but based on everything we've just covered, the signs are pointing to one thing. The bottom might already be in. And if it is, this could be one of the biggest buying opportunities of the year. Please don't FOMO in. Don't get too emotional and expect to make fortunes without putting the work in. It doesn't work like that. But what after all that info, you're happy with your cryptos, but you're not sure when to sell? Well, look below and I'll give you all the info you need to help you take profits in this bull run. I want to know what you think. Do you believe we've hit the bottom or is another leg low? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, all the good stuff. And if you need extra help and support, remember, you can join my crypto community on School. Have a look in the description. It's zero risk because you get a 7-day free trial. And I genuinely believe the courses you get inside the community, the newsletter, and just being around other crypto investors will help you win in crypto in 2025. Good luck with your crypto investing.